once I got there, it was relaxing. I didn't feel overwhelmed. Like, I just really felt calm. And then it's a period where it's a window where everything is like, it goes from being relaxing, calm to, okay, we going. It's time. Like, it's time. I was like, well, what time is it? Like, I had started panicking a little bit because.
Hey, Destis and Bride Friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings. I am happy to see you, and I'm just really interrupting really quickly because this is actually part 2 of a 2-part interview with Desti Bride Nicole. So I'm not going to give you any of the details. They are all in episode 1. Well, in episode 1, in part 1. So if you've already watched it, then you're about to be able to finish it. And if you haven't, I do recommend you going to the description, and whether you're watching or listening, going ahead and getting the link in the description to go to the first part, because this is the next, well, of course this is the next part, but this is the end and it's about to get really good. I will spare you any of the details, whether you're listening or watching. Thank you for being here. I will see you next week. And until then, as usual, I'm wishing you all the best week of your life and reminding you to have the time of your life, planning the best days of your life. Bye, guys. Okay. So you had some people. So actually, you mentioned your father. So in 2020, when everything shut down and you decided to move your date, you decided to do something else in between. Want to talk about that?
So we legally got married in 2020 on my birthday, September 6th. So I'm expecting double the presents. I need one for because we still feel like that's going to be our official anniversary. So I need one for that and one for my birthday. And he got it big the same way he been doing it. I ain't accepting it.
You already get trips for your birthday, so we need the trips and then we need the anniversary gift once we get there. Yeah.
We need all that. So yeah. But that was an emotional time for me. Like, my hormones were all over the place. In the beginning of the pandemic, I found out I was pregnant, and then we ended up losing the pregnancy. And then as a nurse, just seeing so many people die, I was overwhelmed. And then my dad was not doing well, and I really wanted him to be a part of our day. So we ended up doing a small backyard, intimate wedding where we legally got married. My dad walked me down, and it was so crazy because he was so coherent that day. Like, all the way up until this point, like, he didn't know who we were. He didn't know his name. He wasn't walking. That day, he was walking. He knew who people were. Like, when they said, who gives this person away, like, me and her mother, I was like, oh, like, is this the same man?
It's my daddy, yeah.
Yeah, so that was very, very, very special to me. And I'm glad we did it.
That's beautiful. And I appreciate you sharing that. I wasn't going to go completely because, I let everybody share what they want to share. But I appreciate you sharing that. That's, I mean, you're a real bride friend. But that's, life happens. And when I say I'm so happy for you and I'm so excited that this happened, because I know the story. Like, yeah, we've done the calls. We've done everything. Like, you have been through it. So... and look at you with your glow. You just glowing. Good, yeah. And Mom stayed with him, so she wasn't able to make it.
And I was okay with that because she was there for our first ceremony. So it wasn't like I felt like, oh my God, my mom's not going to be there, because I'm very much family oriented. Like, I will go as a grown adult and lay in the bed between my parents. Like, that's me. So I didn't feel slighted because she didn't come, because I had that moment with her already. Yeah. So, yeah. And then I knew, like, if anything happened to my dad while we were gone, like, I couldn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So my mom was another one who I had already paid all her stuff. We ain't have insurance for her. So that money was just lost.
So does all that count in the how much was spent, like the $13K? That's the St. Lucia stuff and what you ended up. So that's awesome that they did that. Like Jellyfish worked with you. It seems like you things like the stars aligned and people really came together in the Dominican Republic to make this happen for you. So for you guys, for y'all, I'm good for focusing on the bride. I've been told. So for y'all, you guys are a unit.
People went out of their way to make sure we were okay. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if I had a cloud over me. I don't know if they just felt my vibes. I don't know. But I feel like we definitely were well taken care of.
I love it. Oh, awesome. So let's go ahead. Okay, hold on. Let me look real quick. We're going to go to the wedding day. Actually, wedding week. So when did you arrive?
So we arrived that Monday. And our wedding was on that Friday, and we left on that Saturday. Our layover was in Miami, and we flew to St. Lucia on Sunday.
Okay, so you guys kind of went boom, boom. Like I'm funny. Looking at the map, you guys went there. You went kind of back a little bit to get back to St. Lucia.
It was a lot of travel. But we didn't have any insurance on Ladera, and they had already worked with us, like with changing the date and everything else. So I actually feel like I got the best of both worlds because we still experienced St. Lucia, which was amazing.
And how long were you in St. Lucia?
We were in St. Lucia from Sunday to Wednesday.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good amount of time.
Which was enough for me because, as I said before, I'm not a real outdoorsy type of person. And, at Ladera, they have the 3 walls. And so by the 3rd day, and even Eric, like, he was getting ate up by mosquitoes. Swelling up, like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So by the 3rd day, we were like, oh, yeah, we ready to go home. Ready to, be in our own home. Be trying to, do what married people do and not get a little bug in the net, nothing. Like, we just need to get on back. So, yes.
That's funny you say that because Ladera's a beautiful resort and all of those open air. That's what St. Lucia's known for, like those open air resorts. And you get the views, you get the photos, but I am a mosquito. Mosquitoes come to me. They'll pass Che and come to me. Like they'll pass right by him and they tear me up.
And he actually flipped out one night at dinner. He was like, that mosquito went past 5 tables just to bite me.
Get to me.
I was like, what? Like, okay,
yeah,
baby.
It happened. That's real. I'm with him. That's what they do. It ain't right. It ain't right at all. Nah. So wait a minute. And you packed. Let's talk about your packing. What did you bring with you? Because yes, let's talk about this.
That is on one of my things that I'm mad at y'all about.
Why?
You knew my game plan going in. I had my trunks because I had already seen it in the groups. Like, okay, people taking trunks, and you just put a little note in there about it's for the wedding, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna have to send you these pictures of like our actual luggage. So I ended up taking one trunk. I went to the Goodwill and I got some old suitcases that we would be able to just kind of leave there because I think that was one of the tips from somebody in the group. So I was like, that's a good idea. So here we are, and we left on Monday, and most of our guests wasn't coming in until Wednesday. So we had to kind of bring everything in. So when I was looking at the cost of, is it really cost effective to bring some of the stuff that we're bringing, or, should we just leave it? So in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, I'm saving like $400. Yes, this is cost effective. I was not looking at the thing right. So we had got all these, I think it was like 7 suitcases and a trunk.
You had to pay for those.
Listen, I was looking at the thing right. So I thought, so we flew American. And I was like, okay, so it had a little column that said the first bag and the second bag, third bag. So I'm like, okay, so I can do 3 or Eric can do 4, whatever. Like, that's just how it'll be. Girl, no, that was per bag. So when the lady told me, she was like, "Are you aware of how much this is gonna cost you to check these bags?" And I looked right stupid. I was like, "Oh yeah, I already saw the cost. That's fine. Just go ahead and ring it up. My husband parking the car. He'll be here." I had his credit card. I'm ready to go. So he walks up as the lady is telling me the cost. It cost us $640 something.
Okay, wait. So the column where it says, like, we'll say like first bag $30, second bag 20, something like that, right? It's like,
we got like the 3 bags, and it was like 100 or 200 or something like that.
So you thought that meant the total of all the bags?
Yes.
Ah, interesting. That's a good note for me. That sounds like a good video to kind of do an FY.
Make sure other brides know that, because I didn't know it.
The first bag cost that amount. The second bag cost that amount. So add them
for American.
up. For American. Interesting.
Yes. Okay. So he walks up as the lady is telling me.
Of course, it couldn't be after or before, right?
And he gave me the look of death. I just sat there like, I'm going to just go on in over here. Like, I'm going to let you deal with that. And he paid it because we didn't have no choice. We didn't have a choice. Like, we were there. Like, we didn't have a choice. But for anybody that don't know, if you fly an American, that is how it worked. Because I didn't know that. Because we never really checked more than 1 bag.
Right.
So in my mind, I was thinking, oh, okay, so we got, he can do, because, each person can check up to a certain amount of bags. So I was like, oh, okay, well, he'll do 4 and I'll do 3 or whatever. And it'll only cost us
a couple hundred.
Like 4 something.
So that is something that, so I didn't know that okay, yeah. So that is a perfect, I have my list of travel tips that I'm about to start tossing out there. So this is absolutely a great one to go through. So thank you for that. I just started that. So yeah. See, this is why it's important for us to do these. You had to learn the hard way so that the bride friends behind you don't have to. Oh.
Because he was already, I told you what his budget was. So he was already fussing. He was already fussing at me. And I'm like, Lord, just let me get through this. Like, let him pay his half. Because in that same day, he was paying his half of the wedding. So I was like, just let him pay his half. Like, don't let him flip out on me. But
dip on you and leave.
He gave me the look of death. Like,
he'd be all right. So wait a minute. Okay, what was in all of those bags too? Because one of my tips, I say don't take a ton of stuff too. You clearly took a ton of stuff. So
I did not. Okay, so by us moving it to Punta Cana, a lot of the things that I was gonna take, I no longer had to take. So I ended up taking our bouquets and boutonnieres, and the welcome cups and everything that went in those. What else was in that? The gifts for the groomsmen.
Clothes galore, I imagine.
Yeah, but I got a tip for that. Yes, lots of clothes, few pairs of shoes. What took up the most space is the cups. And I didn't pack them before we left, so I left them rolled up. But it just took up a lot of space. And the bouquets took up a lot of space
because you had to give them their space too.
Yeah, I didn't want them crunched up. So yeah.
Were those in the trunks?
The cups were in the trunks, as well as I brought a special gift for Eric that was in the trunk.
Okay.
But the bouquets and stuff, that was in the suitcases.
Okay. So you had...
But there was no way I could bunch them up. And even with us bringing the bouquets, it was still like the cost that they would have charged me there in St. Lucia. I ordered those when I thought we were having the wedding in St. Lucia because the price of flowers were absolutely ridiculous. But I'm thinking that if I would have just did flowers in Punta Cana, it would have been more real, like a better price.
Okay. And did you
had already paid for them, and it was the colors of what we needed. So I just brought them.
Right. Did you make them or were they pre-made?
They were pre-made, and they were through Etsy. So the Etsy page is Darla's Blooms, and they were gorgeous. Like, a lot of people could not even tell that they were not real.
Ooh, okay. I see you added that right there. Okay, Darla's. All right. So yeah, she gave us all the links, y'all. So they'll be in the show notes. All the goods.
And I brought the guest book. Like, so we had like a heart acrylic, where you sign your name on a little heart and drop it in.
Okay.
So that we had the cake cutter set.
Were the mirrors, did you bring those mirrors or did they do that? Like, it looked like on your table setting, there's mirrors.
Yes, that was one of my must-haves. So the tabletops were a mirror, and that was provided by the resort.
Yeah, those are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful.
It looked like it was like fancy and like expensive.
Immediately, instantly. Yeah, you didn't need. Yeah, I feel like I get the questions. I actually just recently got one about decor ideas, and I had my other, and I said do mirrors, and the idea, like Jamela, I don't know if you remember Jamela, but she got married in Montego Bay, and when we were talking about what she was going to do, she ended up using mirrors kind of as a centerpiece, which was kind of cool. But when I saw yours, I was like, ooh, you can elevate this mirror thing, and you can really do this. So
the mirrors were gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I stole that from someone else's that I had seen in that got married there.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you paid $1 million to get there. You brought your dress and his tux did you put them together or did you do them separately?
Yeah. So his dress, my reception outfit, my son's tux, and like my jewelry and shoes, his shoes, that was all in my Wally bag.
Wow, all that. Wally bags are no joke. I actually I'll be reviewing that too because they're no joke. Who carried it? Did he carry that? I'm imagining.
Yeah, he carried it, and he let me carry the rolling suitcase. And it was packed. Like, it was really packed. Like, I had to lay on it before we left to get some of the air out so that it was flat some. So yeah.
And the airline, they were able to? Did they take it and hang it, or what did they do?
No, they didn't hang it. I didn't even ask them. We just put it in the overhead bin.
Okay, yeah, it's packed nicely, so you already had it where it needed to go anyway. So, okay, cool. All right, so you fly there, you're there. What was the first day you arrived? Did you have any wedding to-dos at all?
No. So when I arrived, we utilized WhatsApp a lot to communicate with Jellyfish. So that is when the on-site coordinator, the day of coordinator, reached out to me and, was, just saying, we're glad to have you. We're excited. The day's going to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. All my vendors pretty much checked in with me on that Monday, just to make sure everything was okay and that I didn't need anything. So our tasting and finalizing of the, our cost was supposed to be on Tuesday because most of our guests were starting to arrive on Wednesday, and I didn't want, and because it was off site and it took about, I think it was like maybe 45 minutes or so to get there. I didn't want to be away from the guests knowing that we were going to be leaving on Saturday. So, but she sent me a message and she was like, I'm so sorry. Is there any way we can do your tasting and finalize your invoice on Wednesday or Thursday? So I wasn't very happy about that, but we wanted to do an excursion on that Tuesday with just us. I mean, on that Wednesday with just us. So I don't know. I was just like, well, I don't really have no choice.
Want to say no?
It's like, yeah. So it was changed from Tuesday to Wednesday, and we ended up doing the excursion on Tuesday so that we could go to the venue on Wednesday for the tasting.
Okay. So, and then the day before the wedding, what did you guys do?
So the day before the wedding, and I kind of contemplated this because it's some people on Eric's side that I had never met. Like, I had never met his dad. His dad lives in Texas. I ain't never been to Texas. I don't plan on going. At the time, I hadn't planned on going to Texas. So I had never, like, physically met his dad the entire time that we have been dating. And then he has some family in Maryland, and COVID didn't help things. So, of course, on Facebook, people reach out, whatever, but like I had not physically met a couple of those. Yes. And I can be a little ratchet at times. And so I know, not me.
No.
So we had a couple things that I was taking into consideration. For one, I don't know the dynamics, like, I don't know how certain people feel about certain things. And then we also had age gaps. So I wanted to do something as a group because I didn't want people to feel awkward not knowing who people were. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to one of the groups, the Punta Cana bride groups, and I asked, what were some things that they did. And it was recommended to do a party boat. So some people were like, they loved it, but they wouldn't do it the day before the wedding because people got too drunk, blah, blah, blah. That was my only option, was the day before the wedding. So I was like, well, we just go ahead and do it.
Right.
So we ended up doing a party boat, and it was like, everybody still talks about the party boat. It was amazing. Like, it truly set the tone for our wedding. And yeah, people got drunk, but we didn't have any issue because I guess our wedding was later in the day. That following day, it wasn't an issue for us.
Yeah, they could sleep it off or whatever. You'll be fine by the time our wedding comes. So
yeah, we had so much fun on that boat. I definitely recommend like an icebreaker or something, just to kind of help with the mood, because we had so much fun. Like, people were meeting people that they didn't know, and at the wedding they hanging out with each other. Like, you couldn't tell them that they didn't know these people beforehand. So it was really, really good. And then later on that night, I had a semi-private dinner on the resort, which was a disaster. We probably could have done without that. But yeah.
For everybody? Like, everybody came to that?
So I mainly did it for people who were not able to do the party boat, because again, I had guests coming in on Wednesday, guests coming in on Thursday.
Right.
So, with everything that was going on with the airlines, it was a lot of delays. So, like, my kids, they were supposed to come on the party boat. They ended up missing it because their flights got in late.
Who'd they fly with?
American.
No, like, did they come in? They didn't come in by themselves.
It was my sister.
Okay. So,
so it was about 15, not 15, maybe 10 people that had paid that ended up missing it because, like,
delays.
They didn't get to the resort in time.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww. Then they already went from St. Lucia to Dominican Republic, and then they couldn't get to Dominican Republic to enjoy.
Yes. So I was thinking, like, with the dinner, that would be a time that we could spend with the people who were not able to come on the boat.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a disaster. Mm-hmm. That was like, I understand, they were short-staffed, they were doing the best they could, but, like, we had guests who didn't get their food. Like, they took the orders, and they never got their food. I was one of them. And then they were like, "Oh, we forgot to tell you. We don't have no more of whatever it was I ordered."
So you just gonna not bring me? You gonna bring me nothing? Then? So I don't eat. So I ordered.
I'm the main reason. Like, everybody. So yes. So yeah. Aww. That was another, like, to me, I felt like, okay, that we did the right thing, because had this been issues with my actual wedding day, I probably would have lost it.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Jellyfish. Did Jellyfish give you your food? Did you eat? So I want to give a special thanks to our sponsor, which is you, the Desti Lovers community. To every single member of the Desti Lovers community, I want to thank you for making the show what it is. I'm so happy to have a place where all of my Desti Bride friends can meet and discuss all things Desti. The Desti Lovers community is an extension of the show and is your safe space for sharing and collaboration while planning your destination wedding. So here's what you can look forward to. The Desti Hour live Q&As, episode discussions, deep dives, bride friend brunch connections, giveaways. What else? Oh, and of course, the hours and hours of replays from all of the tutorials and the Desti Hour calls. So yeah, the Desti Lovers community is it. So get in the Desti Lovers community. I will see you in there. But for now, let's get into this interview.
This is another tip.
Okay, no, actually. Okay, yeah, get a tip, but then we're going to go to the wedding day. Don't tell too much about the wedding day yet, but yeah, look, I'm funny.
The food was delicious, but because I was being pulled in so many different directions for like photographer, videographer, like I was nibbling. I wish that I had designated somebody to pack me up a plate. Like I did think enough ahead to bring like the little dessert trays for people to take cake with them back. But I wish I would have told somebody to put my food in those, because I didn't really get to eat much that day. And like I knew the food was delicious. I still want the food right now.
we're gonna have to take a trip back there and then just go eat at Jellyfish.
Yeah, so I mean, because later that night, like it would have been really good
to have that. Yeah, you got home or got to your room and you could just eat your food. Yeah. Okay. So it's your wedding day. Did you guys sleep together? Did you spend the night together? What happened with that?
Listen, I tried to kick Eric out. I really did. I wanted my best friend and my daughter in the room with me. I wanted to kick Eric out. Eric was like, I don't know what the hell you think this is. I'm not going to sleep with another grown man. So you just going to have to deal with me in this bed. We already married anyway. So he won't go nowhere. We slept together the night before the wedding. I got up early, steamed his tux, steamed my son's tux, and my best friend came over to my room and helped to get my items so that we could go. And he was still in bed.
He was still. Hey, that's a great way for a groom. I need to hear his side of this, because that sounds like a great way to wake up. Okay,
my God. Like,
you got your wife going ahead. She woke up. She steamed your stuff. You good?
Yeah, he was good. Meanwhile, I'm up at the crack of dawn. Like, boy, see, if you was not here last night, I could have slept a little bit more.
And who was going to steam his stuff?
Yeah, I still would have done it the night before.
Oh, yeah,
but jeez, yeah, he won't go nowhere. Lay right there. Didn't even care. Even care.
And then you guys, we know what happened with the bridal suite. I mean, well, with the transportation. But once you got to Jellyfish, you went to did everybody come? It was you plus your bridal party?
So we had 3 different shuttle times. So there was one shuttle that came that morning. They got myself and my bridesmaids. And then there was, we actually had 4. Then there was another that specifically went back to pick up his mom and my son, because his mom was getting her hair done, but she didn't have to be there the entire time that we were. And my son, I wanted him with me because I wanted Eric to be able to spend time with his groomsmen and not feel like he was babysitting. Yeah. So he came at that time. And then the next shuttle picked up Eric and his groomsmen. And then the last, it was, I think, 2 shuttles, picked up the guests and brought them there. Okay.
All right. So you're at the bridal salon and your makeup and hair are already there, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you got that done.
I got that done. I felt beautiful. I wish I had known that the restaurant was going to just be so accommodating, because like they brought us breakfast in. I had already eaten like a little something before I left. So like I had some fruit, and I had, just nothing heavy, because I was already terrified of looking bloated in my dress, because I got there on a Monday and the wedding was on Friday. And what do you do at resorts? Eat.
Yes, absolutely. Drink, eat, and drink.
Yes. That was the whole thing. So, but they brought food in, drinks. Like, they were really, really accommodating. And the food was delicious.
Good. Oh, that's nice. So walk us through it. So you got your makeup done. What did the day look like?
So I was not the first. This was another thing that I was kind of torn about, because I asked other brides and tried to ask around, like, how does that day go? Like, who goes first? Like, how do you decide who goes first? I chose not to go first. So I had an itinerary for my girls of who was going to do makeup first, who was going to do hair first, so the order that they would go in. I steamed robes and my dress.
You did?
While they were getting themselves done. And then closer to the time, it was like maybe 3 hours before the time the photographer was coming, that's when I started getting myself together.
Okay. All right. You got your hair and your makeup, and then the photographers came. So what time was your wedding?
5:00.
Okay. Did it start on time?
I think we were maybe about 5 or 10 minutes late, but for the most part, yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
And I was actually shocked, because I knew we was going to be late when we couldn't get on the shuttle. But nope, everything, like, I felt like throughout that whole process, like, it was once I got there, it was relaxing. I didn't feel overwhelmed. Like, I just really felt calm. And then it's a period where it's a window where everything is like, it goes from being relaxing, calm to, okay, we going, it's time, like, it's time. I was like, well, what time is it? Like, I had started panicking a little bit, because like that whole time had just been so, it was perfect. It really was. I had no complaint. So everything kind of went very, very smoothly.
Oh, okay. So they sent you to where on, like, how does Jellyfish work?
So when you pull up at the at the restaurant, it's not like a paved parking lot. It's like sandy. Okay. So when you first pull up and you get out, it's the area to the right that has the bridal suite before you even walk into the restaurant. It's a ramp leading up to the restaurant. So the bridal suite is to the right when you first get there. Okay.
And then so they just led you out when it was time. Did they come to get you? Like, the planner came to get you?
So when it was time, yep, they came and got me. There was not a space for the guys to get dressed, so they had to get dressed at the resort, and then like bring their shirt and stuff so they can do like a pretend getting ready in a location at the restaurant. So yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
They kind of hung out in the restaurant part while the girls and myself was in the bridal suite.
Okay, that's interesting. Never thought about that. All right, so you're married. You're walking down the aisle. It's time. Who walked you down the aisle?
My brother.
I thought that was your brother.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah.
And how did you feel when you were going? Come on.
I was praying to God. Me and Eric had this conversation a million times. Like, you know how you see these videos and like the groom just starts getting teary-eyed, like, and that's when you know, like, oh yes, I look good. Eric had already told me, listen, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not no crier. Don't expect it. But I was like, when he see me, he gonna cry. Girl, he did not.
He told you.
He did not. But like, he was everything that I envisioned he would look like on my wedding day, because we specifically got things that we wore things in September that we knew was nothing like what it would be for our actual wedding. So everything that I had envisioned he would look like, he looked like. And I was trying not to cry because I was like, I'm not about to mess up this $100 and something makeup. Like, no. And so my shoes never made it to my feet, which was another thing. So I felt like I was kicking my dress as I was walking.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother is taller. He's so much more taller than me. So like, his steps was longer than what mine was.
So he was kind of trying to catch up.
I was like, yeah, like, slow down some. Shoot, just slow down. But yeah. So the whole, like, throughout pictures and everything, I ain't have not one shoe on. Nothing.
Yeah. I was barefoot too. That was the whole point. And you kicked no matter what, honestly. But yeah, your shoes were great. At least you got the pictures of your shoes. So, and you have your shoes, right? You still have them.
Yeah.
So.
I ended up breaking them suckers in for 2.5 weeks before the wedding for nothing.
For nothing.
They look good in the pictures though.
They did. So you guys are married. I do all of the good things. Yes. Then what? What happened after that?
So at that point, it was cocktail hour for our guests, and we were going to start doing pictures. But as we were getting together for the group picture, it started raining. So they ended up taking our guests to the inside of the restaurant portion, as well as Eric and I. We kind of took some pictures. We utilized the ramp and the steps of the restaurant to take some pictures. So I think the picture I sent you where we are standing and it's some like little something.
I know, those are beautiful. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the ramp.
Going into the restaurant or?
Going into the restaurant because it was raining. So I guess the photographers and stuff, they were like, well, let's just try to get what we can get.
Yeah. So
it rained for maybe about 15 minutes or so. And then after that, we went outside and finished portraits with just me and Eric.
Okay. And was the reception indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors. Okay. So there is I'm trying to think of. So in one of those pictures I sent you where it's like the man on stilts, and just side note, people on stilts scare me.
Me too.
So yeah.
I can't be next to them, so.
So.
Did you ask for that? Was that a request?
Well, I didn't know that they were going to be on stilts. It was only one man on stilts, but we decided to do crazy hour because, again, Eric does not dance whatsoever. So we didn't have like the traditional first dance.
Interesting.
And I didn't want it to be awkward where people were trying to figure out, well, what do we do? Y'all not doing a first dance, so what do we do now? So I decided at the very last minute to add crazy hour. And, that is where they come dressed up and they interact with the crowd and kind of get everybody up moving. So they did that while I changed into my second outfit. And prior to them doing that, our first dance was a group dance. So our entire, everybody was kind of circled around the dance floor, and we did swag surfing for like a few seconds or whatever. And he actually participated.
I was going to ask, was he just standing there like?
No, he participated. So, yeah. So, I mean, and I was like, at least they'll get him in some, because I was like, babe, it's going to look really awkward. Like, we already not doing a first dance. Like, so he was, I think that day he was just feeling really good. So he was like participating in everything that he said he was not going to do.
Aww.
So, yeah. So they got up, they got the crowd moving, they did little stuff. And it was a setup that was outside. Can't remember if in that picture I sent you where I have the little man with the stilts behind me, if you can see the full picture of what the setup looked like.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was gorgeous. And we had the I do letters.
Yes. Yeah.
That was also out there as well.
Oh, okay. So you had the full reception, and you guys are married, and everybody just left in the shuttles?
Yes. So we had, initially, it was supposed to be 2 separate shuttles leaving. A shuttle that I initially anticipated for like my older adults who didn't want to stay all night, and then a shuttle that would have left at the end of the night. But because of the rain, things kind of got pushed back. So I kind of felt like all the shuttles just kind of left closer to the end of the night.
Okay. Oh, all right. And then the next day?
The next day, my husband was pissed.
Oh!
I don't know what I was thinking. So there is a location, and it's called, I can't even remember it now. We did a separate photo shoot the day after at the butt crack of dawn. Not a good idea when you were drunk.
Had a whole day.
I don't know what I was thinking, but in my mind, I was like, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. Like, I have got to get a picture of my dress on these steps. Like, yeah, he was pissed because.
Did he not know about it?
I told him this ahead of time.
He just wasn't thinking about it until he had to do it. And then, it didn't really register until.
Girl, listen. I don't know how I got into the room that night. One of my eyelashes was in the bathroom. I couldn't find the other eyelash. Like, I didn't have time. We woke up late. I didn't have time to curl my hair. Like, I had absolutely no time to do nothing but get my body clean and for us to get down to the lobby for them to pick us up. Because they were there at, it was either 6 or 6:30.
Oh, my God.
In the morning. Because we were going to do a shoot before it started getting super hot. Plus, on top of that, we were leaving that day. So we wanted to make sure, when I say we, I mean I wanted to make sure that we were able to do the shoot and still get back in time.
To pack.
So that, we could go to the airport. Because I was like, well, shoot, we can sleep at the airport. Like, who needs sleep? Shoot, I need sleep.
Turns out that you need sleep.
Oh my God. Like, my makeup was not done. I was trying to get off like some of it would not come off. I asked them, I was like, y'all, please don't zoom in like on my face. Like, it's not. And it was just not good. And he was pissed. And I don't blame him for being pissed. But the pictures turned out really, really nice.
Yeah, you sent me a couple, Those too. You did, yeah. They do look nice, but...
But that's the background behind it. I mean, he was talking crap the whole time. He was pissed. He was like... And then just recently I found out that he was almost at the point where I was just going to be going by myself. And
he wasn't going to go. So, rewind to you in Egypt, when you was talking shit in Egypt, on your way. He got you back on your way.
Yes. But I was right there with him. I was talking shit in my mind to myself. Like,
mad at yourself.
What you thinking?
What was I thinking?
It's too long to get yourself ready. So what makes you think that you was going to be able to get your makeup done, hair done, and be ready by 6:30 in the morning? Yeah, that was not a very smart decision on my part.
Hey, lessons
but we got
learned.
Through
it. You did. You wanted to do it all. You waited. You was like, I'm about to do it all. Okay,
yes.
You had to wait a whole year. Been through all of this. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. Let's go ahead and add some of this.
See, I thought in my mind, I felt like because we had gotten there so early, like we relaxed for a good bit. The end is what got hectic for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But then you guys were able to honeymoon beautifully. So,
yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So you're married. We went through a ton, so I appreciate that. And we already established that we're going to have the follow-up. So, to wrap this up, what do you have? What is the best and the worst advice that you've got about destination wedding planning?
I would say the best that I got would be just to do whatever makes you happy. Don't listen to what worked for this person and this is the way. You got to do it to fit your personality and your spouse's personality. And people who don't like it, oh well, it's not about them. When I stopped worrying about everybody else and started like truly enjoying the moment, like I truly was at peace. So that is the advice I would give. And also just a little hacking thing that I figured out along the way, because even though we was only gone for a short period of time, I got to have like 4 outfits per day because I need options. Mm-hmm. I got these little, and I got it from you, actually. So you remember the episode you did where you vacuum sealed your dress?
Yes.
I vacuum sealed
your clothes. Yep.
Like, and it was amazing. And I'm going to do this every time I go somewhere.
From now on.
It was amazing. Like, we saved so much space.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I would definitely recommend that to other brides too. Like, you know, when you packing your clothes, definitely invest in one of those. I think I got mine on Amazon for like $20 or $30. It was amazing.
Yeah, did you get like the kit of the ones of different sizes? Is that how you did it? Yeah. I'll go ahead and drop a link to that too in the show notes, y'all. But yes, that's, yeah. Oh, well, good. Yeah. Okay. And the worst advice?
I don't know if I received worst advice because I'm just so headstrong on, like, you just not going to tell me any old thing.
Right. Just let that roll off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I got a worst advice.
Okay. And you planned a gorgeous destination wedding.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful Black destination bride. Thank you. What advice do you have? And in COVID as well. Let's go ahead and add that to it.
Yes.
So
As
what
if planning a wedding ain't stressful enough. Let's throw in COVID.
Right. So what is your advice for your bride friends that are coming up? And first of all, for anyone who's just apprehensive, should I be doing this? I don't know. I'm scared. What's your advice for them?
I mean, if they're scared as it relates to COVID, I would definitely wait until you're comfortable. First of all, because it's already stressful enough to try to plan a wedding. And if you're also trying to figure out how to maneuver around COVID and, you know, what restrictions you're going to have, it's not going to be a good process for you. I would not have done it if I hadn't already been invested in it. Yeah. Like, I would just kind of waited until the world opened up a little bit more before I started planning. But if you're not the type that can handle things kind of messing up and everything not being perfect, then I would definitely not do it during COVID, because you have to kind of roll with the punches and make the best of your situation.
Okay, awesome. And taking COVID out of it. If you can take COVID, can you take COVID out of it? Can you take COVID out of it? Yeah.
I feel like now you can, because a lot of the resorts are like 70-75%
right.
capacity. So
and let's just say someone's watching your video 5 years from now. So things are...
Glad that y'all won't hear. Glad that y'all won't hear now. I'm sure wherever you at now is in a much better place than I was. But no, I feel like destination weddings get a bad rap because people, when you think destination, you automatically think, oh, that's expensive. It's too expensive. But to be quite honest, like, you do the math. You sit down, write out cost of certain things, and then make the decision. Because initially I thought, like, dang, a destination wedding is going to be kind of pricey. So I'm going to have to cut a lot of things that I, always wanted. But no, you can definitely incorporate everything that you want into your destination wedding, and it still be cheaper than a wedding that you have in your hometown. My best friend got married a year before I did. So she got married in September of
19?
2020.
Oh.
Sis.
She got married in COVID or before COVID?
No, she got 19.
Okay.
2019. Beautiful wedding. She had it in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Levine Museum. Absolutely gorgeous. When I found out what the price tag was of her wedding, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like don't let people change your mind. If that's something that you want, then go for it. Yeah. And even throughout the planning process, like, I feel like sometimes in your mind, you already know what you want, but people will talk you into something else or try to sway your decision because it's better for them. You talk to your spouse, put down in writing, whatever, you know, what's important to you guys. And then when you are having difficulty with making certain decisions, go back to that list. Because you'll be much happier in the end, because you truly, you know, if photography is important to you and you looking at budget, go ahead and spend a little extra on photography. And screw them welcome cups that you end up leaving at the resort. And, you know, screw that, because those are things that, you know, nobody really, like, yes, they're nice staples. Certain things are just kind of nice staples, but they're not necessities.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, won't nobody talk about, yeah, at the resort people were, because they like to be able to use a cup with the straw, but more people were talking about my actual wedding than my welcome cups that I was fixated over. So, invest into the things that are important to you and your spouse, and let all the other little stuff that ain't even important.
Oh, I just want to hug you. Thank you so very much.
Virtual hugs.
You're amazing. Thank you so very much. I know that you watch the show, and it's so great to finally have you on it.
I know, girl. I'm gonna be looking at myself like, oh my God, I made it. It's crazy though, because I came across your YouTube because I didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no clue. And so just like listening to your tips and things that you went through, like, that helped me understand like the process, because nobody I know had no destination weddings. Like, we don't have no friends that had no like, we are the first ones.
Yeah.
So I was winging it. And my husband, he don't do no planning. He don't care about nothing. So I truly was winging it. Yeah. I'm up at night trying to, you know, okay, well, how do I go about this? And, you know, what tips for this? And, you know, how am I not going to sweat all day? Like, you know, that was me. Yeah. But it's crazy. Like, now, 3-4 years later, here I am giving advice to some other brides. So
yes, I appreciate you paying it forward, and it's been a pleasure. It really has. You have to stay in the group. You guys stay in the community. We don't do the graduating out of the groups here, so yes.
No. And I actually so I have no use for my Wally bag. I know a couple of the girls were asking about it. It does not have pockets, but I would like to donate it to Desti brides, and you can. I saw a cute little thing that was going on in another group that I'm in, where they did like the traveling bag.
Also, like, kind of let them loan it out.
Yep.
Oh.
So it's like a cute little, you know, trinket or whatever, note, whatever, to an upcoming bride, and just, you know, let them use it during that time, and when they're finished, they send it back and it goes to somebody else. So yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll send you my address, and then I'll I'll send you the shipping or whatever to get that, and we can.
Yeah, I think that'll be a nice thing to do.
That would be. I love that. It's funny you say that, because I want to do that with different things, and I actually bought the trunks that you have, the Sterilite trunks. I bought 2 of those, and then I actually went to the Container Store to get the big trunk that they have too that's similar. It's way more expensive though. I don't know if you know about that one.
Heel.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was going to leave that trunk, but we actually ended up bringing it back.
Good.
Because it was empty, so it was easy to just throw everything in it.
Yeah.
But we couldn't bring it back with us. We went straight to St. Lucia.
Right.
So like we had guests that were like, I had somebody bringing my dress back and somebody bringing my bouquets back because I'm selling them, and so we threw everything in that trunk, and yeah.
Good. Oh, well, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and that would be awesome. I would love to do that. I feel like I remember you talking about that, so it's so sweet that you want to do that. So thank you very much for that.
I don't for it anymore. One and done.
Awesome thing. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and thanks for spending the time. Like, this is your off night. So I appreciate you, donating that time to us. So
no problem.
Thank you.